What's up, guys? Welcome back to SEWCT. I'm Chef T, your host, and we are going to be covering the news on a few different topics. Over at appeventive.com, we're going to be talking about a topic that's titled "What's to Come for Food Tech and F&B Sector After COVID-19." Moving on to consumer demand for eco-friendly products set to boost the prospects of food technology market between 2018 and 2028. This article was posted not too long ago, so they're going to be talking about this entire eco-friendly sector about products. So that's really interesting to get into. That's also found on scientech.com. Moving on to poll reveals which sports fan used marijuana and CBD the most and least. And lastly, we're going to talk about this blockchain technology. VeChain is behind. It's VeChain Partners, another re-owned company with NSF International. Now, this is a really cool article. This is found on cryptonewsflash.com. I'm going to have all the links in my description for you guys to click on if you want to further research on your own to find out what's going on. But VeChain is doing great things, guys, in the food world, the food sector. So it's interesting to see how blockchain is going to be used for the food industry and how we're going to move that to the next level. So let's get back into the first topic. Here, what's to come for food tech and F&B sector after COVID-19? The outbreak of COVID-19 has placed the whole entire world at a standstill, as we all know. Epidemiologists, biologists, doctors, and other healthcare workers are working tirelessly towards a cure for the coronavirus. However, we cannot predict the exact date and time as to when we will be free of this global pandemic. We don't know. But what we can do is make some predictions about the world of food technology will look like when it's all over. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. And this was a philosopher and scientist that quoted that. The current pandemic is all about change. In fact, a very rapid one. There has been a massive shift in food consumption and eating habits, and especially with the new concerns like hygiene, social distancing, and healthcare safety that have now come to the light and will affect the current and future of food tech companies. So, prediction for the food tech and F&B after COVID-19. Number one, the era of food delivery. We're already seeing this. This is the era of online food and grocery delivery, and demand supply. It is increasing as we speak. The online food supply chain is multifaceted. It generally involves producers, consumers, processing and storage units, marketing and transportation, etc. Numerous new merchants have now enrolled with established grocery delivery platforms. This is good for the consumer because it provides a greater variety, more competition within vendors, faster and cost-efficient deliveries. As a result, people who did not understand food and technology together and were cynical about the entire process in the past have now downloaded grocery delivery apps during their crisis. during this crisis. Downloads of grocery delivery apps increased exponentially in the United States, by the way, in the first half of March. And it has a chart here about Instacart, Walmart groceries, and Shipt. Due to the pandemic, a variety of establishments have been forced out of business, which is sad. So I do expect a rise in the cloud kitchen model, since a variety of food entrepreneurs are now focusing entirely on delivery models. But at the crux of it, the impact of COVID-19 on the grocery business will be minimal. So number 2, inclination towards a vegan culture. So the vegan culture is a vogue these days. According to a report by the UN, more than 75% of emerging infectious diseases originate in animals. Due to the coronavirus crisis, people have shifted towards vegetarian food, or as they like to call it, a plant-based diet. People are now more mindful than ever about what they're eating and how it is going to be impacted on their health and, of course, our economy as well. As a matter of fact, countries around the world will ban the trade and consumption of wild animals, which would also drive the future of food tech industry. Pretty cool. Number 3, mass adoption of countless payments. Now we're seeing this constantly. On the 3rd of March, the World Health Organization, right, asked people all around the world to go for cashless payments amidst the crisis. Moving forward, the world experienced a new wave of innovation in the food industry, that is, countless payments in order to shun the transmission of the virus. Even at the current state, integration and contactless payments has become a definite way to increase user retention in payment apps. Various e-commerce platforms and delivery apps have disabled the option of cash on delivery, also known as COD. You can currently pay using credit or debit cards, UPI, net banking, e-wallets, or even cryptocurrency. Now, all of this, the same day when WHO issued their advisory, 33% of credit card consumers were evaluating the contactless feature. Such times demand as increased awareness about the functionality and the benefits of contactless payments that will finally result in food tech innovation. Really cool. The article continues to go, guys. It goes into shift towards home dining. So home dining is becoming more of a thing. People are cooking at home, or social distancing, as this is what they're saying, social distancing has now forced us to spend more time at our homes. So you're finding that more people are using technology, obviously using technology to look up recipes and cooking techniques, simple and easy ways to cook at home for their families or just for themselves. Technologies has penetrated into every possible life aspect. Hardly a day goes without a new app or technology coming to light with the promise greater service, comfort, connection, and convenience. Food tech companies like Equal Parts have drastically helped consumers during these tough times. Technology and food have come up with initiative like Texas Chef that is a cooking couch and helping consumers revamp their kitchen, which is really cool. So there is some really cool technology coming out. Number 5, going local. Since the international borders are shut, it really helps us to focus on local grocer, right? What's local in our area, helping our local community, and that's going to help not only the farmers, but just local businesses as well, right? So as a result, F&B businesses are compelled to evaluate their dependency on far away producers. and replace with local ones. People want to consume food closer to its source, says Yelp Coronavirus Impact Reports. So that's really interesting. Number 6 is food safety rules to get more severe. Rules to get more severe. So there will be a strictness that will come upon the food safety standards and regulation because of this current pandemic. This severity will be seen in every aspect of F&B and will have an impact on the future of food technology. People are more concerned than ever about how the food is produced. How hygienic are the conditions and who is touching our food? Let's move on. Number 7 gets into this. Let me see, there's 2 more. So number 7 gets into cashier-less stores. Technology in the food industry is planning to minimize human interaction and using a combination of sensors, cameras, and technology. We're starting to see this already in major grocery stores like Whole Foods. This idea was introduced 2 years ago, but then the hype died down after initial tests were executed by several companies, which included big names like Amazon. The same idea has again come to life to make the future food tech industry safer than ever. People need supermarkets and stores to function during such times without putting their staff and consumers at risk. Really interesting. Lastly, number 8, the F&B world to be digitized. We have all seen numerous F&B businesses and promise food technology ideas fail because of technical sluggishness. Now that countless number of small businesses are joining hands with delivery platforms, digitizing will be unstoppable. Their inventory systems will be digitized. Implementation of cashless payments and automating manual tasks will be coming to the forefront during this crisis. So there's a few more content here for you guys to read. I'll leave the link in the bio like I told you guys so you can read further. Let's move on to the next article. So this one is found on scientech.com and is consumer demand for eco-friendly, as we saw or heard, depending on if you're watching the video or listening in. Technology is going to move forward during this pandemic and is going to really move the areas of where the most demand is going to be. And as we see the demand, or hear or heard demand, as I was speaking about it from the last article here, this particular article is getting into the eco-friendly products, which is all a part of the whole change that we're actually seeing in our current state. So consumer demand for eco-friendly products set to boost the prospects of food technology market 2018 to 2028. The ever-evolving coronavirus has caused the interruption in supply chains of companies in the food technology market. Through careful analysts of the COVID-19, our analysts at PMR offer you a bird's eye view of the current ongoing of top-tier companies in the food technology market. Learn how leading companies are striking potential partnership agreements to generate sales in the food technology market. So they have a few lists of stuff. They have a few different links here that you can click on to if you wanted to request sample reports. So assessments of the global technology market. The recent published market study of the global technology market by the Persistence Market Research, PMR, offers an elaborate analysis of the different market parameters that are posed to influence the overall dynamics of food technology market. Further, the study reveals that the global food technology market is forecasted to grow at a CAGR of XX% through the forecast period, which is stated in the article, and reach a market value of US dollars by the end of 20XX. The percentage study provides critical insights related to the future prospects of the food technology market by analyzing the different segments and subsegments of the food technology market. There's a link here if you want to read further. The critical insights enclosed in the report's in-depth analysis of leading market players in the food technology market, the regional analysis of the different market segments and subsegments, which is also important. Recent mergers, acquisition, collaboration, partnerships, and R&D activities, SWOT analysis of the prominent players in the food technology market, YOY revenue growth of the food technology market during the forecast period. So there's great details in the request sample report. I'm not going to go through it. I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to click on that. Important market segments included in the report's key players operating in the global technology markets are Food Panda, Delivery Zoo, Uber, Zomato, Tesco, PLC. The list goes on. Grubhub is another one. Delivery Hero Holding, McDonald's Corporation, Panera Bread Company, Pizza Hut. The list goes on, guys. DoorDash is in there. So, food technology market regional outlook. The food technology market is dominated by the Western Europe, followed by the North American, Asia Pacific. The market in Western Europe is expected to witness higher growth due to increase in online delivery penetration in the UK and other countries of Western Europe. Demand of food technology in the North American is increasing and is expected to contribute to the market growth owing to the presence of food technology giants. I'm going to end there, guys. A lot going on, a lot for you to read. Link is in this podcast and video description, so please click that link. Let's move on. Poll reviews. Now, this particular article is found on marijuanamoment.net. So if you want to click on that link in the bio, you can read for yourself and click all the links they have in their article. So poll reveals which sports fans use marijuana and CBD the most and least. I thought this was actually a pretty fun article to share with you guys. Fans of esports, the UFC, and racing are the most likely to use marijuana or CBD, according to a survey released on Friday. The least cannabis-friendly sports fans are those who watch baseball, golf, and football. The poll conducted by Morning Consult breaks down how common cannabis consumptions is amongst 14 groups of self-identified sports fans. For esports, 35% of the fans said that they smoke or ingest marijuana often or sometimes, while 29% said they use CBD products. By contrast, 20% of MLB fans said they consume marijuana, and 17% said the same about CBD. The chart below does not include response where individuals said they rarely use substance. So they have a list: export UFC fans, most likely amongst US sports fans to use marijuana. So you got exports fans ranging at 35%, UFC fans ranging at, exports fans ranging at 29 to 35%, UFC fans ranging from 27 to 35%, F1 fans ranging from 29 to 31%, MotoGP fans ranging from, it really isn't a range, it's really just around 30%. So the range is basically smoking or ingesting marijuana or using CBD products. And basically what I did was I started giving you the numbers for CBD products first, then second it was who would smoke or ingest marijuana. So just so you're not confused when I move forward. So tennis fans, you have 27% using CBD, 30% using marijuana. MSL fans, 25% using CBD, 29% using marijuana. NBA fans, 22% use CBD and 29% use marijuana. NASCAR fans, 20% use CBD and 29% use marijuana. NBA fans, 18% use CBD, 25% use marijuana. IndyCar fans, 19% use CBD, 23% use marijuana. NHL fans, 19% use CBD, 23% use marijuana. NFL fans, 17% use CBD, 22% use marijuana. Golf fans, 19% use CBD, 22% use marijuana. And lastly, MLB fans, 17% use CBD and 20% use marijuana. So they cover a whole bunch of stuff here, guys. Despite marijuana being legal in 11 states, its classification as an illegal Schedule I drug by the United States government is a non-starter for the leagues. Morning Consult said, while some properties might be reluctant to associate with marijuana regardless of its legal status, the quick rush of leagues and teams to do business with betting companies following the Supreme Court's 2018 reversal of the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act showed how quickly taboos can change. This new poll comes as many professional sports leagues are looking at international marijuana and CBD policies for players. Earlier this year, the MLB announced that players would not longer be tested for cannabis, though were barred from being sponsored by marijuana companies. So the head of the NBA Players Union joined the board of a major marijuana company in June. At the same time, reports surfaced that players will not be tested for cannabis and other recreational drug, at least on a temporary basis. The World Anti-Doping Agency said in 2017 that athletes can use CBD, and it's also recently increased in allowable limit of THC metabolites. So really interesting. Now let's get into the VeChain news that we found here on cybernewsflash.com, guys. VeChain partners another re-owned company with NSF International. Pretty cool stuff here, right? The VeChain Foundation has attracted another big name with NSF International just days after gaining grants to Thornton as a partner. NSF International, sorry if I butchered that. International is an American company that operates in 150 countries, guys, worldwide, and is a provider of risk management solutions for public health and safety. Producers, regulators, and consumers turn to NSF International to develop public health standards and certification programs to protect food, water, consumer products, and their environments in general. NSF International has announced yesterday that it has issued a new coronavirus safety protection certification using VeChain's blockchain as a service. Now the acronym will be BAAS platform, the VeChain toolchain. The company stated that there is currently a lack of methods for assessing the level of viruses in food, which is why it is introducing the VeChain-based certification. The report produced by the NSF International will be uploaded to the VeChain Thor blockchain, which you can pretty much, I had this, I downloaded the app a long time ago. You can look, I believe it's in Google Play and the iPhone store if you want to download VeChain Thor blockchain. And so the VeChain Thor blockchain and continuously updated. is the report produced by the NSF International will be uploaded to the VeChain blockchain and continuously updated. Okay. By scanning a QR code, consumers can view the certificate on the blockchain and check relevant information, which is really important. The certification can help companies to reduce the risk of infection and contamination in production and operation, improve awareness of prevention and control of personal, provide companies with assurance that production and operation are conducted in a safe and proper manner, and effectively reduce the risk of product contamination, which is really important. Guys, the link is going to be in my podcast and video description as a reminder. I'm wrapping it up here, guys. I'm not going to continue in this article, but it's great to see that we're having blockchain companies, VeChain, doing great things in the technology sector and using their technology to create transparency with products, right? Our food products, stuff that we eat and ingest. So I think that's really important. So we're heading into, as you can see, we're heading more into a technological world. So when you hear about companies using technology for the greater good, I'm all excited. Guys, I'm Chef T. Thanks for joining me right here on SEWCT. I'll catch you guys on the next one. In the meantime, stay healthy. Peace out. Thanks for joining me.